Story 1. I do regular cardio and calisthenics to stay fit as the years go by. I have seen what happens when people take their fitness and health for granted, and that will not be me. Equally important is that exercise improves my mood and helps combat some chronic depression and anxiety. Honorable mention. My girlfriend likes the results, and I like making her happy. Story 2. I work physical jobs, so it reduces the likelihood of injury. I have type 2 diabetes, and I don't really need to take metformin anymore. It's also allowed me to avoid insulin altogether. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's more effective than any medication I've been put on. Story 3. To look hot. It's okay to say that. I've been a personal trainer and group fitness instructor. People think they have to make up some story about health, but if you ask for their motivations and they're vague, suggesting it's okay to just be about vanity, they very quickly drop the facade. At least you're being honest with yourself and can adjust what you're doing for that goal. It also has the bonus side effects of health, longevity, and new friendships. Story 4. As someone closer to 50 than 40, it's about quality of life. I'm already married to a woman out of my league, so it's not really about being attractive anymore. It's more about avoiding injuries, making sure I don't have any pain, ensuring I have a healthy heart, and making sure I have a good, healthy, active life in my 60s and 70s. I used to think that people in their 40s were pretty much sentenced to grow fat, lethargic, complain about lower back pain, and reminisce about how young they felt in their 20s. Now that I am there, nope. Muscle mass doesn't really decrease until you hit your 60s. You lose some fast twitch muscles, which is why professional athletes retire in their late 30s. But that's it. But if you work out regularly, you pretty much have the same muscle mass and energy level well into your 40s as you did in your 20s. Story 5. We all lose our battle with time. I'm just not planning on going down easily. I will never be as strong, fast, or attractive as 25-year-old me, but I hate to think where I would be if I hadn't stayed active. Story 6. I'm surprised I'm the first person to say competition. I train to get faster and try to win bike races, both road and cross-country mountain biking, and I run the occasional 10 kilometers. There are tons of benefits to exercise, but my main motivation is to prove myself in fair competition against other people. Story 7. I absolutely love to eat. I grew up with a father whose favorite hobby was running. He'd average 150 to 175 miles a week and also worked a physically demanding job as a beer and wine truck driver and delivery guy, so when he'd eat dinner, he would have a massive amount of food, then eat tons of snacks. He was always very toned. If I didn't like to eat, I'd definitely not exercise as much. I don't care about muscles or looking fit. I just didn't want to get fat. Story 8. I started off when I was younger because I was insecure about being athletic but skinny. Also, it slowly molded into wanting to attract girls, and now it is because it makes me feel good and helps with stress. I've noticed I'm more confident now in general, although this could be a product of just getting older. Mentally, it's the best thing I've ever done. I definitely recommend it for all the guys out there, even if it's as simple as going for a walk or run a couple of times a week. Story 9. Personal fulfillment / self-determination. I came to the realization that life is what you make of it, and living in the past is a waste of life. I used to be ripped when I was in my 30s. I had the six-pack and the endurance of a horse. My body fat percentage was around 7%, and I was always being asked about my nutrition or my workout routine. Now that I'm 52, it suddenly dawned on me that I have been living in the past. Back when I was 32, I used to be in the best shape of my life. Wait a minute. I didn't die. I'm still here. Why do I keep using I used to be? Because I gave up. It became difficult. But difficult is not impossible. I will be in the best shape of my life. I will get my six-pack back. I will no longer have to reminisce and bore people with my used-to-be old man tales about ancient history that nobody cares about. I've been hitting the gym 5 times a week for the past 3 months, have lost about 17 pounds of body fat, and can feel my endurance increasing. I've calculated my macros, have adjusted my diet, and I'm slowly building muscle mass, not as fast as I used to. I'm getting old, but I'm headed in the direction I want to go. I go to the gym for my health, but a lot of the reasons are to prove to myself that I can still achieve the goals ahead of me instead of living in the past. Story 10. Muscles look way better than not having muscles. As I have explained to so many reluctant gym trainees who don't want muscles, you cannot tone fat. It is hilarious how many people think 2 1-kilogram repetitions once a week will turn them, without warning, into Schwarzenegger overnight. Story 11. To look better. I've always been insecure about my looks, and the gym makes me feel huge and gain confidence, almost to the point where I get cocky now. I hated myself for 29 years. It's my time to love myself. Also, heartbreak keeps me motivated. I miss her. Story 12. I had a really bad injury 10 years ago, fell into a deep depression, and subsequently became a drug addict. The workout injury caused quite a bit of tendon damage throughout my body. Mix that with 8 years of hard drugs and my body basically felt like it was falling apart. I slowly worked my way up to where I am now, and now I've been working out for a little over 4 years, and I finally feel like I am able to move again. I'm in a much better place now than I was 6 years ago, and to some degree, I'm thankful for the pain I caused myself because I've grown and learned so much from it. Story 13. I want to be ridiculously strong for no particular reason whatsoever. I just really like the way it feels to move super heavy weights, pushing the body to the absolute limit. Powerlifting competitions are super fun. Story 14. Initially, I tried to impress a girl who always went out with guys who looked like movie stars. Obviously, that didn't work, but I stuck with it anyway because I feel a lot more confident from it, and it's healthier than scrolling through my phone for an extra hour most evenings. Story 15. Because it makes me tired at night and regulates my sleep schedule, I just love the feeling of actually being tired and ready to go to sleep at around 11 p.m., and also, obviously, feeling well rested the next day. Story 16. Because it makes my whole life feel okay. It turns down the volume on anxiety to such a degree that I can enjoy life. It also gives me the energy to do things that would ordinarily be exhausting. Story 17. I am nearly 50 and have seen older relatives die painful deaths. I feel young and just want to keep that feeling for as long as I can. I feel terrible when I am in the gym but feel amazing afterward. Story 18. Because I need positive feedback loops instead of negative ones. For mental health, it's way too easy to fall into downward spirals, so I'd rather give myself a regular supply of happy brain chemicals such as dopamine, and with looking and feeling good, that helps boost my ego a bit too. Plus, my wife seems to appreciate it, so. Story 19. I work night shifts. It helps me get out of the house when I'm up at night on my weekend. I was always the fat kid growing up, and it feels so good to be active. I don't care about looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just want to feel good. Story 20. Mostly to feel good. When I first started working out as a teenager, it was all about looking good. And I certainly enjoy being fit and not hating myself in the mirror. But now in my 30s, I continue to work out because after I do so, I feel great. It's nice to know I am doing something positive for myself. It makes me feel more confident by doing a hard thing and being consistent with it, and I've come to mostly enjoy the activity itself. Story 21. I realized it was good for my health, and most importantly, I have a bad herniated disc right now that an MRI showed 2 weeks ago at L4, L5 and canal narrowing in 2 areas. I already had surgery 15 years ago on L5S1, so for me, what the doctors want is to get my core strong and other areas of the body to support my really bad back to slow down the need for the next surgery, as I am only 35. Keeping moving, stretching, and working out is my medicine. Story 22. Mental health. While in the gym, nothing else matters. All my stress is moved from my head to my body, and I can mentally check out and focus on the contractions of the muscles I am working. I work out at 5 a.m. and it helps get me right for the rest of my stressful day. Story 23. I'm 58 and have been doing CrossFit for 10 years now. I want a very high quality of life when I'm in my 80s. I see guys my age that can't do 10 squats, so how are they going to get off the toilet in their 80s? Maybe cancer or a bus will get me before then. But if I make it to 90, I don't want it to be in a wheelchair. Plus, my wife works out every morning with me and it's our time together. Story 24. Currently, an attempt is being made to try not to feel crippled and perhaps address some chronic pain issues. Beneficial side effects that also motivate me include trying to make it so my partner can't keep her hands off me. as well as a confidence boost from being the buff dad at kids' sporting events. Story 25. 1. Mental health. 2. It is good for my physical health. 3. Because I like to snow ski, hike, and lifting and running is a great way to stay durable. 4. Mental health. 5. Neither of my elderly parents are in great physical health and weren't for most of their lives, so I built a home gym so I could stay in shape as I age. 6. General exceptional capabilities. 7. Mental health. Story 26. I have had back problems when I was younger, and women often complimented my butt. I don't need any other reasons to keep my muscles strong and my butt fabulous. It just feels nice to be in shape. I wouldn't do it if it felt like a chore. Story 27. Healthy routine and mental health are vital for me. I can't focus and relax at work unless I exercise early in the morning. It boosts my confidence, especially when I notice that some people in their mid-30s don't take care of themselves. It also helps me respect myself more. I stand with better posture, can command a room, and overall, it just helps me feel so much better about myself. This also leads to women being physically attracted to me and complimenting me. So, I feed off that as well, and it turns into a whole different cycle. Story 28. Depends on the sport. Running, to be able to go on massive day hikes or runs and to think peacefully. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mobility and fun. Lifting, I love the feeling of my brain being 100% focused on moving the weight and nothing else. Story 29. I exercise a lot, but I don't work out at the gym. I ride roughly 65 to 80 miles a week on a bike, either on the road or in the mountains. I do it for 3 reasons. Reason 1, bikes are fun and being outside is fun. Reason 2, within the cycling community, I've made lots of friends. Bikes are my social life. Reason 3, my dad died at 45 from a heart attack because he didn't take care of his body. He had diabetes, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. I refuse to let that happen to me. I will exercise and eat right,